Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. Today, we're diving deep into some of the latest developments surrounding the Cleveland Browns. And trust me, it's a story that could have serious implications for the team's future. It's about their offense, their quarterback situation, and a potential game changer that's been brewing behind the scenes. As we all know, the Browns have faced some struggles in the first 3 weeks of the season. The offense hasn't quite clicked the way they envisioned, and there's a lot of talk about what might be the solution. And the name that's been front and center in recent discussions is Joe FLACCO. Yes, Joe FLACCO, the veteran quarterback who's been around the block more times than most of us can count. The big question is, should the Browns unleash FLACCO more? Should they give him the reins and let him take more shots downfield? It's something that's been debated among fans and analysts alike. The idea is that maybe, just maybe, the Browns need to be a bit more aggressive, a bit less conservative. Because right now, they seem hesitant, almost scared to make big plays or risk turnovers. But is that the right approach? Or has the conservative game plan been the best strategy so far? That's what Mary Kay Cabot, Ashley Bastock, and Dan Labb from the Orange and Brown Talk podcast have been dissecting recently. They've been analyzing whether the Browns are holding back too much, whether they're afraid FLACCO will turn the ball over, and whether this cautious approach is actually hurting their chances of winning. If you think about it, FLACCO, with his experience, has the potential to be a spark for this offense. He's known for his calm under pressure and his ability to make clutch throws. But the question remains, should the Browns let him cook? Should they give him the freedom to take more shots, especially with a receiver like Jerry Jeudy? Because, let's be honest, Jeudy has the talent to be a game changer. His route running, his hands, his ability to create separation, these are qualities that could really unlock the Browns' passing game. If FLACCO and Jeudy can get on the same page, it could open up things for the entire offense, making them less predictable and more explosive. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but what about turnovers? What if FLACCO throws an interception at a critical moment? That's a valid concern. Turnovers can be the difference between a win and a loss, but sometimes you have to take risks to win big. You have to trust your quarterback to make good decisions, especially when he's experienced and knows how to manage the game. It's a delicate balance, no doubt, but that's what good coaching and game planning are all about. Sometimes, the conservative approach works, and other times you have to go for the jugular. The Browns are at a crossroads, and the upcoming games could tell us a lot about what kind of team they want to be this season. Speaking of the season, the Browns have some injury concerns as they head into Sunday's game, and that's another factor in this equation. Denzel Ward, one of their key defensive players, didn't practice on Wednesday, and his status for the game is uncertain. Losing Ward would be a significant blow to the secondary, especially against a division rival where every play counts. The Browns' defense has been solid, but they need Ward at full strength to contain the opposing offense. It's a reminder that, while the offense is trying to find its rhythm, the defense also has its own battles to fight. Injuries can shift the dynamics of a game, and the Browns will be monitoring Ward's progress closely as they prepare for what promises to be a tough challenge. Now, to get back to the offense, there's also been some speculation about whether the Browns should change their philosophy. Are they being too cautious by default? Sometimes, teams tend to play it safe early in the season, especially when they're trying to avoid costly mistakes. But in the NFL, especially in a division like the AFC North, you need to be bold if you want to compete at the highest level. The division is fiercely competitive, with teams that refuse to back down. The Browns have the talent, and they have the veteran leadership in FLACCO, who could be a catalyst for that leap forward. Imagine a scenario where the Browns loosen the reins a bit, give FLACCO more freedom, and allow Jerry Jeudy to showcase his skills. That combination might just be what's needed to turn the offense around. It could spark a series of big plays, boost morale, and put the pressure back on their opponents. But it's a gamble. and one that the coaching staff will have to weigh carefully. Because at the end of the day, football is about execution, and sometimes taking calculated risks is the key to victory. Meanwhile, the fans are eagerly awaiting Sunday's game, watching every injury report and analyzing every detail. The tension is building because everyone knows how crucial this game could be, not just for this week, but for the entire season. If the Browns can find a way to unleash Flacco's arm and get the offense clicking, especially with Judy's talent, it could be the start of a new chapter. One where Cleveland's offense becomes more dynamic, more unpredictable, and ultimately more dangerous. And let's not forget, the Browns have a rich history of resilience. They've faced adversity before, and each season brings new challenges. The key is adapting, evolving, and making the right decisions at the right time. The coaching staff has been studying film, exploring options, and trying to figure out how to maximize their weapons. Whether that's through more aggressive play calling, trusting Flacco more, or finding creative ways to get Judy involved, the goal is clear. They want to win, and they want to do it now. So, what's next for the Browns? Will they decide to let Flacco take more risks? Will Judy be featured more prominently in the game plan? Will the injuries impact their chances? These are questions fans are asking, and the answers will be revealed on game day. But one thing is for sure, this team has the talent and the experience to turn things around if they make the right choices. The AFC North is always unpredictable, and this season, it looks like the Browns aren't going down without a fight. Now, as we get closer to Sunday, all eyes will be on how the Browns' offense responds. Will they take the gloves off and let Flacco throw more, trusting in his veteran instincts? Will Judy finally get the targets he deserves, creating those big plays that can swing momentum? And what about the defense? Can they hold strong against a tough opponent, even with the injury concerns? It's a complex puzzle, but if there's one thing we know, it's that Cleveland Browns football is never boring. They're always fighting, always adjusting, and always aiming for that elusive Super Bowl trophy. And speaking of the Super Bowl, the Browns fans know that every game, every play, every decision is a step toward that ultimate goal. It's been a long journey with ups and downs, but hope is always alive in Cleveland. The team has shown resilience, and with players like Flacco and Judy, they've got the pieces to make a deep playoff run if everything falls into place. So, whether it's a bold move to unleash Flacco or a strategic tweak to involve Judy more, the key is execution. The Browns have the talent, the experience, and the desire. Now it's about making the right calls at the right moments and believing in the process. And finally, fans, I want to remind you, this season is still young, and there's plenty of football to be played. Every game is an opportunity for the Browns to prove themselves, to show that they're contenders, and to keep the hope alive for a Super Bowl appearance. The story is still being written, and your support, your passion, and your voice matter more than ever. So stay tuned, stay engaged, and keep cheering for Cleveland Browns because this team's journey is far from over. They have the talent, the grit, and the heart to make history, and we're here to witness every moment of it. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on the latest developments? Do you think it's time for Flacco to take more shots and lead this offense? Do you believe Judy can be the spark they need? Or are you concerned about injuries and how they might impact this week's game? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion matters so much to us and to the Browns. We love hearing your perspectives, your predictions, and your passion for this team. Remember, the season is still unfolding, and every opinion counts. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news, because this story is far from over. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Browns.